Next, we'll discuss coaches' education, sport-specific regulations, ejections, and fines. All coaches must take at least 2 of the National Federation of State High School Association or NFHS courses. These 2 required courses are Fundamentals of Coaching and Concussion in Sports. The NFHS Fundamentals of Coaching course provides a unique student-centered curriculum for interscholastic teachers and coaches, assisting them in creating a healthy and age-appropriate athletic experience that supports the educational mission of our nation's schools. Currently, this is a one-time course requirement for coaches at NCHSAA member schools. The course costs $35. More information is available at NFHSlearn.com. Prior to the first date of competition, all head coaches and assistant coaches must obtain this NFHS Fundamentals of Coaching certification. There is a $500 fine for non-compliance and an additional $500 fine for coaching in a contest without an NFHS Fundamental certification. The NFHS Concussion course highlights the impact of sports-related concussions on athletes while teaching how to recognize a suspected concussion and providing protocols to manage a suspected concussion with steps to help players return to play safely. This annual course is offered online free of charge at NFHSlearn.com. Prior to the first practice, all coaches must complete the NFHS Concussion in Sports online course or equivalent concussion curriculum. There is a $500 fine for non-compliance and an additional $500 fine for coaching in a contest without an NFHS concussion certification. All head coaches and other paid coaches must be CPR AED certified. Any non-paid coach who does not become CPR AED certified must take the NFHS Sudden Cardiac Arrest course prior to coaching in any contest. There are a few additional sport-specific NFHS certifications that are required before the first date of practice. The head cheerleading coach is required to take the NFHS Cheer and Dance Certification course. This course provides information and strategies to help the coach evaluate the current safety program with the goal of minimizing the risks involved in this activity. The course presents how to teach the proper techniques of cheer and dance to minimize the risk associated with participation. The pole vault head coach is required to take the NFHS Coaching Pole Vault course. This course is free of charge. The course has been designed to help both coaches and athletes. Coaches will learn to develop and teach the introductory skills of pole vaulting to your students. After completing this course, each participant will have a better understanding of the fundamentals of pole vaulting, as well as the best practices and techniques that will help educate and promote safety in the sport. All of the NFHS courses mentioned today can be found on the NFHS website, NFHSlearn.com. Every year prior to coaching in the first contest of the season, head coaches receive a certificate of completion for an NFHS State Rules Clinic. All sport-specific clinics are offered via NFHS Learning Center at NFHSlearn.com. Once available, links to the NFHS modules will be available on the NCHSAA Coaches page. Non-compliance will result in an initial $400 fine and an additional $500 fine per game for non-compliance. Since we've talked about fines, we want you to know what happens if or when those fines are not paid. Schools with unpaid fines are not eligible to compete in the playoffs for that sport unless the fine is paid prior to the playoff reporting date for that sport. For example, a baseball fine is specific to the baseball playoffs. Any fine not paid at the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30th, carries over to the following school year, making all teams at that school ineligible for playoffs until the fine is paid in full. Unfortunately, ejections occur during a high school contest. Based on who's ejected, there are various requirements that have to be met following an ejection. If ejected from a contest, the student must miss 1 game in football and 2 contests or events in all other sports. If participants, coaches, or other team representatives, including chain crew, official scorers, and timers, use any tobacco product, alcoholic beverage, or other controlled substance at a game site, an ejection can occur. Fighting and leaving the bench area are also grounds for an ejection. Fighting includes, but it's not limited to, combative acts such as an altercation between two people that involves swinging, hitting, punching, and/or kicking. Flagrant contact is also grounds for an ejection. It's defined as combative acts such as maliciously running over the catcher or fielder without an attempt to avoid contact, excessive contact out of bounds or away from playing action that's unwarranted and extreme in nature, tackling or taking down a player dangerously in a malicious manner, illegally hitting or cross-checking an opponent in an excessive manner with the lacrosse stick. Other offenses which are grounds for an ejection are biting, taunting, baiting, or spitting towards an opponent or official. The use of profanity is also grounds for an ejection, and the NCHSAA has a zero tolerance policy towards profanity. The definition of profanity includes inappropriate language, racial or ethnic slurs, sexist or homophobic language. Obscene gestures, including gesturing in such a manner as to intimidate or instigate an altercation and disrespectfully addressing an official, are all also examples of conduct that could lead to an ejection. More details about ejections can be found in the NCHSAA handbook. What happens after the ejection of a coach? Well, in addition to serving the game suspension required by the offense, any head coach who is ejected from a contest or has a student ejected for fighting must take the NFHS Teaching and Modeling Behavior course before returning to coaching. This course costs $20, and the certificate of completion must be uploaded into the NCHSAA's home campus system. So what happens after the ejection of a student? In addition to serving the game suspension required by the offense, any student ejected from a contest for fighting must take the NFHS sportsmanship course before returning to competition. There is no cost for this course, and the certificate of completion must be uploaded into the NCHSAA's home campus system. Finally, the NCHSAA is constantly updating information relative to the best practices and policies for the health and safety of students participating in our programs. More information on asthma, cardiac awareness, concussion, COVID-19, emergency action plans, heat-related illnesses, neck injuries, sickle cell, and skin infections can be found by visiting the NCHSAA's website, nchsaa.org, and clicking on the Health and Safety button at the top of our homepage. We understand that this has been a lot of information shared, and we thank you for your focus and attention. It's our hope that you will contact the NCHSAA if you need additional information. You can also visit our website, www.nchsaa.org. Good luck to each of you. We hope everyone stays safe and healthy. Have a great season.